closer look now at one fallout from the real estate collapse. Financial disputes clogging the courts. In tonight's special report, KTVU's Deborah Villalone looks at how such cases can make enemies of friends and even lead to prosecution.
Mitch House is a composer and writer whose entertainment career didn't prepare him for what he's knee-deep in now. His dining table is a mass of legal documents, and it all stems from a friend in tax trouble asking him for money.
His wife's going to leave him if they lose their house. Going to give him a loan for about $120 grand. You know, he'll refinance the house in 45 days, pay off the tax liens, pay me back.
Instead, it's been how many years?
5.
House tapped his own home equity for $100,000, then more over time, ultimately writing a long list of checks, always with payback promised around the corner, then learned after maxing out at almost $300,000 that his friend could never have refinanced the home he was in. He was a renter.
It was a loan based on fraud. He never owned the property. He never qualified for a loan. He never had the ability to refinance that house. He never bought it in the first place.
There has to be some fraudulent intent. There has to be some deception. And that's what we have to look for.
Prosecutors in white-collar crime say they're flooded with people in financial distress and pointing fingers after the real estate collapse. A civil case can be slow and expensive, so many are turning to the criminal courts.
We require evidence. We require a paper trail if it exists. But we have to be very careful not to prosecute people when it's simply a bad business decision.
And that's what the borrower says in this case. He doesn't deny not owning the property, nor getting a lot of money from Mitch House. When we first tried to ask him about it, he drove away. He and his wife never agreed to appear on camera. But by phone and email, he blames the downturn in the economy for abandoning his debt. Says he wishes things had turned out differently, and insists it's ridiculous to make him into another Bernie Madoff. But
It could have been me.
this Walnut Creek doctor says the same man came to him for money also, about the same time, but he refused.
If the loan went bad and he didn't make his payments, guess who they're going to come after? Me. I probably would have lost my house too if I'd co-signed the loan with him.
Mitch House is now losing his home of 20 years to foreclosure.
Well, that's the kind of boat it says, a pirate ship.
But determined to recover his funds for his son, if not for himself.
Your choices of medication or chemo or whatever.
House is newly diagnosed with advanced throat cancer. A Danville charity is coordinating his care since he lost his insurance.
So when your doctor has basically said there's nothing left that can be done, what we do is we help navigate your clinical trial options.
The civil case between these parties is stalled now that the borrower has filed for bankruptcy protection.
These people are like family to me. He was my financial planner.
In happier times, like family. But the only thing these one-time friends agree on now, they're not friends anymore.
It's more than money. It's people's lives. It's a child's life. And it's my child's life.
In Alamo, Deborah Villalone, KTVU, Channel 2 News.